Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're based out of. This is the first of its kind of a learning session that I'm doing. I've not done this. I've known a lot of really smart people who use this trick in the past to study and clear exams, but I myself have not done this. But yeah, I'm I'm really excited that some of you are here. I'm hoping in the next couple of minutes we'll have a little more audience joining us. Please use the comment section if you haven't seen this anywhere else. This is QuizWiz. We are a gamified community. We do a bunch of stuff, but this series I'm specifically running from the community-led classes, so I'm super excited. Good morning, Liz. Yes. I would assume you already would have an ACP, but it's super fun to still see you here. Uh, but yeah, in the past, I've used to have bunch of ACPs. I had like almost 4 or 5 back in the day, but I changed roles in my last organization to move to a product role from solutions and consulting. And in that period, I didn't pay much attention to my own certifications, and I lost a bunch of them. So I only have, I think, 2 ACPs now, uh, and a bunch of ACAs, which is very different, because Atlassian certification is one thing that I really like to maintain or would like to maintain, because it's one of those exams which is still a little serious. Like the no hate towards Scrum or Agile or Safe certifications, but it doesn't put you in that real driver's seat, right? And like, I've been running Are You Smarter Than a Jira quiz series for 2 years almost now. We've done it at Team Barcelona, Team Anaheim. A bunch of future sessions are on the way. You'll hear about them in the coming weeks. But it's super exciting every time. Exciting is one word. It's super frustrating at times as well when you get a question wrong. So 2 weeks back, I gave an ACP. I had expired my managing Jira projects for cloud certification as well, the 620. So I did that. I cleared it. So I was like, I need to do the service one as well, and I failed that in the past, very honestly. So because I gave it, like, because I know Jira projects, I would know service projects as well, and I have been a JSN user back when it was JSD user as well. But like, I've gone through the transition, helped people move, have trained people, coached people. But the examination of an Atlassian certification is very tricky. If you've gone through it and you're like, hey, I am the guy people come to for questions in my organization, but for one reason or the other, exam is not something that you clear, this session is for you, because I am like you. I've always been the a Jira guy, not the Jira guy. The Jira guy being a good friend of mine. Uh, Speedy recovery to Buddy, if you're listening. I've been a Jira guy, and I've not been very, you know, very prepared for my ACP examination. So I'm really excited that we'll do this together. We'll go through day one. So today's session or stream would be a little smaller. We'll do like 30 minutes. We'll prep, we'll take some action items, we'll do some work that we need to do. If you're a new Jira admin, please do let me know in the chat. And what your biggest struggle with an ACP exam is. That will be super fun to know. But yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll, over the next 4 weeks, I'm giving myself 4 weeks, all of you 4 weeks as well. We'll prepare for 4 weeks in a couple of hours every week, not more than that because of other commitments. But I think that should be fine. But if it's not, we'll all learn a lesson and prepare a little bit more. And this stream is would be our go-to stream from where we'll start. Liz says, you feel they were loving stuff out of ACP. I can't. Can I get a high level? Yes. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you, Liz. That's definitely something that we've all gone through. All right, let's get started. A little brief, a quick brief about me if you're seeing me here for the first time. My name is Sajit. As you can see, I'm also called the Quiz Master in the Atlassian ecosystem because I started this community called Quiz Wiz 4 years back. I'm based out of Delhi. I've been hosting events in Delhi in person for like 8 years now. I've been a champion leader, org leader for 8 years. Uh, I love the Atlassian community. It has given me purpose. It has given me friends. It has given me so many cool uh, moments that would be just tough to count on a stream. But ever loving group of people who has taught me a lot. So I'm very grateful, and I try to give as much as I can. Uh, Yes, Shane says he's totally new to Jira. I was just trying to immerse myself. That's the only way to do, a certification. You gotta get your hands dirty. You gotta create your sessions, and we'll prepare for all of that. We'll have what are the action items, and we'll track everything down, and hopefully we'll be able to uh, prep for this together for the certification. Yeah, that's about me. If you have any specific questions about the class and community, very active on LinkedIn. Terrible at responding to messages on time on LinkedIn. But if you're in community Slack, hey, I am pretty quick there. So yeah, that's about me. Let me get started because we've already spent 7 minutes, and I will share my screen, and we will start talking about this super amazing certification which has stressed a lot of people out. It is, of course, the Managing Jira Service Projects to Cloud. I see Gigi is in the chat as well. I don't think Gigi needs any prep uh, for certification. If you are the Gigi that I'm talking about, Gaurav has been a strong leader when it comes to ITSM and JSM. But yeah, Gaurav, I was hoping we'll get you on a couple of future sessions on stream to just ask our questions that me and chat will come up. So yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. The goal is to clear this certification in 4 weeks. Let's see if we are able to do that. If we aren't, we'll just learn from it, and maybe 2 weeks later we'll try again. But let's not be that pessimistic on day one. These are the exam details. This is what we have to learn. We have to learn these certification modules. We have to go through how a JSM admin or a JSM project admin would prove their expertise in SLAs, automation rules, customer notifications, on-call schedules. A lot of these questions are on just everyday user, everyday admin tasks, right? So we all know that an admin sets up SLAs, automation rules, all of that. But a lot of new things have also been included in this examination, as you'll see. If you've given an ACP in the last couple of weeks, you'll see the influence of Rovo and Atlassian Intelligence coming into the picture, and how much AI is trying to help the admins on a day-to-day basis. So how that works out is also something that we prepare for, or hopefully go through the course. Uh, it's designed for, of course, Jira Service Project admins. These are the breakdowns. So we need to learn about the users, project roles, and permissions. We need to configure the agent-facing features, specializing capabilities, adding context to tickets. Uh, I think this is very underappreciated role for a JSM admin, uh, where adding context to tickets so that the other team members can pick it up. I've worked with teams who've struggled with the amount of times they had to go back and forth between the JSM admin or the customer to get correct context to solve a customer problem. Uh, yeah, so that's definitely something that we got to learn. Uh, we have to prepare a little bit deep about customer facing features, because that's the highest rated feature. So it's 21%, and that's definitely going to be a struggle if we are not able to sort all those features out. Uh, when we say customer facing features, we literally mean the customer portal, anything and everything that the customer portal has, or even the email, however the end user interacts with your JSM project, that becomes the customer facing features. We have the customer portal and notifications, which is also at 12%, knowledge base, another 5%. You don't need to have an in depth knowledge of Confluence, but knowing Confluence at a user level would definitely be beneficial. So I'm assuming if you are in this ecosystem and if you're working this closely to prepare for a JSM admin exam, your teams or your organization is already using Confluence, so you know what it does. We won't go into deep detail of Confluence in this prep, but we will go through knowledge base as it specifically covers a big chunk of information on how you could defer the tickets that are coming in. Reporting is something that has been my Achilles heel uh, in the cloud certification, the normal one. But I'm hoping this is easier. I've seen the reports, of course. I've used the JSM reports. It is less time consuming to understand and to prepare, let's just say that, because if you do that, it's a little more healthier in terms of on on project response that you can create and attend to when you're working with your teams. And of course, automation rules. So automation rules also have evolved over the years, from creating rules separately to having them embedded in the project, and all of that has definitely evolved over the years. So we'll focus specific sections and time to those as well. Exam specific, of course, you can go into cert metrics and schedule. We won't go into that. You don't have to schedule the exam in 4 weeks. I will, so that I put a deadline to myself. That's how I like to prepare. I put up a date and say, all right, now I have this exam, now I have to prep. I don't have any other choice. Like today's stream, I put up this stream last week and I said, all right, when I am trying to work with 30 people, 40 people and study with them, so I will study. So that's what this is. It's a reminder for you, it's a reminder for me that we have to study, and that's how we'll do. Passing score is 66%. There's up to 75 questions, 180 minutes, that's 3 hours. We'll talk a little bit about how these exams actually are, because if you've not given an ACP exam, it's not one of the most simplest examinations. I've had exam paused because the invigilator heard something loud outside the room, and he made me stop the exam, show the entire room, under the desk, tables, everywhere. You can't have anything except a clear glass of water for you, and you can have a scratch pad and pen if you want, but also that you need to show pre and post the exam. uh, yeah, so it's a pretty tricky exam to just sit there. Like I've done this, and the examiner has stopped my exam. So and that's the experience that a lot of ACPs have told me as well. So best if there is a cert metric center near you, go there and give the exam, so you don't have to struggle with internet connectivity or uh, loud noises or something. I stay in Delhi, so and I usually give exams. Like I've had I've had celebrations going outside as I was giving an exam. So yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, Liz. I cleared and I said yes, and they said this is an official warning. I was like, what? What? I cleared the exam, but for the invigilator, that's definitely a trigger, and we respect that. So while you're in the exam, even after you cleared the exam, you're not allowed to take a picture of it. You're not allowed to do anything. You get an email with the scores and everything later on, but you're not allowed to, like, just you're digitally cut off except your keyboard and your monitor. You can't even have a secondary monitor. If you have a secondary monitor, they'll ask you to unplug it. uh, yeah, that's it. So pretty tricky exam, but hopefully we'll go through it together and we'll see. All right, with that, let's go through the exam topics. These are some of the things that the ACP 420 Managing Services Projects for Cloud tell, and it's pretty recently updated, like almost an year now. But yeah, Gaurav says, how about book the exam and then go with the count? Oh, that's exactly what I'm doing, buddy. I'm going to give the exam in 4 weeks. That's what I've put in my head. In 4 weeks, I'll give the exam. We'll see how much we'll prepare by then. Hopefully, at least one run through of the entire course. And when I say the course, I mean practicing separately while we will go through what is the course content. So for me, I think the best part to study this is just scroll down this specific page, and we'll come back to PDF as well. But if you just scroll down on this page, you come to one of the best things that Atlassian has done in the last couple of years, making university and learning free. So just click on start prepping for free. Schedule your exam takes you to certain metrics, but study for free brings you here. This is where you can read everything that you need to learn about being an effective JSM project admin. So if you click here, it actually takes you to the learning paths where you can learn about how to set up JSM, how you can configure these tools, and how you can configure your team's goals. The previous section, and if you scroll back, there's actually a very interesting Trello board. So if you're a user of Trello, shout out Brittany and Mike, you guys have just done amazing work with Brittany. But this is created by Ree, and you can use this template to actually prep. So let's say we are using this board. I'm copying the template. I've created a plan. It's actually a full study plan of whatever you need to do. So if you click on module one, what is everything that you studied, module three, module four, module five, and you can read the exam overview, you can enroll in course. So all and whatever exam that you're doing, you can create a study plan based on that using this Trello board and then give that examination result. Let's go back. The other section is managing Jira Services Pro Cloud certificate resources. Now, this is a little more hands-on. When I say hands-on, a little more detailed in terms of it tells you specific items that you need to learn. So let's say we start from distinguishing among users, project roles, and permissions, which is one of the first thing that the exam agenda also has, right? So you need to understand what these prep resources are. Once you look at these prep resources, I think it's a little more reinforced in your brain that these questions, these concepts will be turned into questions. So, which role do you need to do this action? Is a very common question in the Atlassian certifications exam. So it doesn't matter which exam you're going, whatever exam you're going, the context will change, but this role is something that you have, and you're not able to see this, or you're not able to do X, or you are able to do X, but your teammate is not able to do Y. Figure it out, right? Those kind of things, and you can only do that when you understand what's the expectation in an ideal world. And that's where I think this exam becomes a little tricky, because it's not what you might be doing in your environment. What's an ideal Atlassian suggested or recommended approach of clearing the exam, and what are these roles called, and what's a stakeholder, and what's a uh, participant, or what's a customer. It might mean something else in your organization's definition, but yeah, in that way you can definitely prep it a little better. Big shout out to my good friend Heen, Robert Heen from Heen.Tech. He's a regular trainer on this channel, but he does a bunch of these courses. I think he did one for ACP-420 last year. He might be doing something on the similar lines right now, but yeah, just go check out his stuff at Heen.Tech. There are a bunch of learning courses that he has there as well, and a lot of free resources available from him. One of the best trainers and coaches in the Atlassian ecosystem, Robert Heen. Uh, 420 was the first one that did it. Yeah, awesome. But I never followed it. But so I'm taking this as a shout out myself too. I will hopefully get a chance to look at some of the content that Rob has as well, and hopefully steal some of it. So he is of course, a nice person. He will not get angry if I steal his content. All right, coming back to users, project roles, and permissions. as I was saying, if you look at this definition, it actually tells you what each role does, right? So how these like this is a little more, you'll see, suggestive. Like there are hints in terms of what these examinations are and what these will do. And we'll do these sample questions. You'll see some of them I've already done, but we'll reset it with a separate window. So we'll do in that manner. But let's go back. Let's go back to the first section where it is actually telling us about the full course, which is here. How you set up a Jira service project to enable your team. Let's review this learning path and let's see what it starts to tell us. It starts from the cloud organization itself, which kind of is counter intuitive if you very ask me. But for somebody who's newer to the Atlassian ecosystem, you need to understand what is a cloud organization and how does it connect to your site. So your organization is different from your site, is different from your products that you might have active on that site. So yeah, that's definitely something that you need to understand, and in that manner you need to understand what those roles are as well. As you can see, there are four major roles in any site. So there's the org admin, which is operating at the org level. Then there's product admin, that means your Jira admin, your Confluence admins, or your Bitbucket admins, in that manner. And then you might also have your space admins. Earlier it used to be project admin, but now everything is space. I still sometimes call them project admins, but the technical term is space admin. So a space admin is one or more individuals who manage those project details or space details and access. And then there's a site administrator who operates at a site level. They can manage within the organization. So org admin, site admin, product admin, space admin, and then your users. In that order it will work. uh, all right. uh, Gaurav has one interesting comment that the exams are usually based on standard subscription. uh, Usually, yes, but like for example, plans is not a standard subscription theme, right? Like the advanced roadmap, or it used to be, but the exams actually have plans, right? So it's a little tricky in that area, but most of the content you'll find, yeah, based on the standard subscription. But if you're on the free tier, you can definitely set things up on a free site and get started. I'd even recommend go premium for 1 month if you've got like a deadline. Don't have to have any commitment. Set up a test site, go premium, study. If you don't have to use it, you can discount that site. But if your office or your work environment already has a standard or a premium site or a cloud dev site, yes, as Liz says, you can definitely use that. All right. Coming back to roles. So org admin. Uh, yes, let me just pin this comment as well because this is very important. As we saw in this PDF, the exam was last refreshed in April 2025. So anything that was added after that is not part of the actual examination. Thanks for saying that, Rob. Uh, yeah, coming back to org admins or any other roles. So org admins, as we said, operate at org levels. They manage users and groups for all sites. They manage the product access. They manage security, SSO, domain, billing details, configuring sites, and everything. Under them, you have your product admins who can configure these product settings, create company managed spaces, create company managed schemes, assign global permissions, create project roles, all of that as well. Uh, Space admin underneath that is your space administrator, basically your product admin or your site admin will assign those roles to people who are managing those projects on a daily basis, and those people will then run by adding users to roles. Or if it's a team managed space, it's a completely different ball game altogether. You have much more control, you have much more scope to play around, to check out what these things are and how to prepare for them as well. How you administer Jira is something that you can write books on, and people have. But yeah, I don't think a 7 minute video or a screenshot could even show you that. But going deeper into what are the best recommended practices, I think that's what we are trying to learn. Uh, let me before I go there, let me also just look at what is the site admin. So the site admin operates, of course, at site level. You have your billings, you have your product and apps. You can approve or deny existing users, view users in the organization. Example, a site admin of UK can add a Confluence site or product to the Acme UK site. That's right. All right, looking quickly at the chat. Oh, we have Cornelia here as well. Glad to see you here. You get a standard free year subscription if you sign up in Atlassian Development. Yes, that's also very interesting. This says you can get a free standard tier Jira and Confluence if you sign up in the Atlassian Development. That's another way to get a better site than just your standard free site for preparing. All right. As I said, the first episode or first stream is going to be very small. We'll probably just do 30 minutes, but take a lot of action items so that when we come back next Monday, we have some checks and balances that we have already looked at and what you have already done. Okay. So, what we need to do first, if this is the first time that you are getting started, you need to create an Atlassian site. You need to use a new place where you have zero data or a lot of data so that you can get that site created. I can create a new Jira site or open my existing site as well. If you haven't, you can just go to the product and get started and create a new Jira site with JSM enabled, or you can just directly create a JSM site. Once you do that, only then you'll be able to play around and practice these things, because the only way, and I'll say this again, and anybody who will, who has done a certification in Jira will tell you is, unless you go and see and do those changes and things. So unless you, for example, go to the org admin role and see, okay, this is how you can add a user or manage a product access, or this is where you can see the billing. It's very tough to you know clearly comprehend what it means and what it does. So you need to set up a Jira site for yourself. I already have one active with me, so I'm going to use that. We're going to use this one site that I have, which is one Atlassian site. Uh, Partners and the community champions would have a very familiar understanding of the One Atlassian environment. We'll use that. It's kind of like a premium site where we'll get to play around and study a lot from that. But yeah, starting next week, the goal is to go through these items in detail and practice specifically in much more depth about what these are. So I'll open the site and we'll say, all right, this is how you can see your roles. This is how you can differentiate between these users and roles. They're very nice learning activities inside these as well. So, like for example, what I'm hoping is I'll reset it from a different site so that we are able to clear all of this and do the questions and quiz again on a different, maybe incognito browser, so that you don't see all of these tick marks that I have already done the first time I was preparing for ACP-420. Uh, yes, that's 100% correct. As Rob says, prep like this is important, but in addition to hands-on practice and experience. So that's what we'll try to do. We'll try to divide some of these into activities that we have to prep for this week. So this week, the only thing that you have to do, because we're just getting started, is set up your Jira site, set up your JSM projects, and look at all the roles that we have. The org admin roles, the product admin roles, the space admin roles, and the site admin roles. What these four do, what these are different. Hey, I see the Jira guy in the chat as well. We were just talking about you earlier today, my friend. So we were all Jira guys, or a Jira guy, the Jira guy. You rewind, you'll see that. Hope your recovery is going well, my friend. But coming back, so yeah, set up your Jira site, go through the roles: org admin, product admin, space admin, and site admin. And going forward, starting next stream, which is I think next Monday, we'll start digging deeper into what these service roles actually do. We'll create customer portals, we'll go through permissions, we'll see what these are. I'll also prep a little better in terms of content we'll read through what these are meant to be and how these are supposed to be executed on a daily basis. We're also hoping that we'll get guests so that these people who are much smarter than me will tell us the questions that I might have. I have a lot of questions on GSM, specifically when it comes to assets. Gaurav, I'm looking at you. Or reports, I'm going to call Rob or the Jira guy, or, some of these really cool people who hang out in the ecosystem and help others grow. So that's the goal, just exiting at the exact right time. Uh, in 30 minutes. So that's what you have to do. I'm going to stop my screen sharing so I don't push out any other content in front of you today. We'll stop in the next 2 minutes. Thank you everybody who joined. And if you are interested, let me know on the YouTube chat or hit me up on LinkedIn. If you are with me to give an exam in 4 weeks, this week doesn't count. We'll start next week. So this is the prep week, then 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Depending on that, we'll book the examination and we'll give the exam. And hopefully, we'll all clear the ACP 420 together. All right. With that, thank you everybody for joining this short announcement walkthrough of what ACP 420 is. As I said, starting next week, we'll prep together. Make sure you have your site ready, and make sure you have your exam content and everything downloaded. So we'll get started starting next week. All right. Thanks everybody, and have a really good week.